Hi, I'm Arjun Santi, and I built a prototype Wi-Fi thermostat. So first I'm going to explain how a regular thermostat works. So right here we have a regular thermostat, and you've got the basic buttons like setting the temperature and all these other buttons. These work by the software dealing with what happens when you click each of these buttons. And it depends on what type of thermostat you buy. Not everyone has these buttons, but most have these up and down arrows. So behind it, here's the whole circuit board, and it has the microcontroller and things like that, and that's where the software is stored to control each of these buttons. But in every house, there's only four basic wires that come out of the wall, and therefore there's the ground wire, which just connects the circuit. Then there's the heating, cooling, and the fan wires. So basically how it works is by connecting the heating wire to the ground wire, you will, if you connect them, you'll complete the circuit in the house and it'll turn on the heating system. By connecting the fan to the ground, you'll complete the circuit for the fan, and that'll run the fan, and same with the AC or the cooling system. And so basically the way they designed this thermostat is they built a complicated software and GUI to make it easy for you to control the heating, cooling, and fan system. So basically this thing will interpret what you type. Like if you say, in the morning I want the heating system to turn on, this thing will check the time, and then at that time it'll simply just connect those two wires together to turn on the heating system. So what I needed to build was one of these pretty much that could basically just connect these wires together. So the prototype Wi-Fi thermostat is right here, and so basically how it works is I made it with an Arduino, and this is the Arduino Wi-Fi shield on top of an Arduino Uno, and this is the circuit board that I made myself. Basically, you have the 3 control buttons here, so it's a lot less than that. Right here, you have the mode, so you can choose between different modes. There's off, then there's heating, cooling, fan, and then there's this thing called it's like a smart mode pretty much. It's not really found on regular thermostats, but it'll maintain the temperature using heating and cooling, but it'll prevent both of them from turning on and off repeatedly, because that'll damage your house, the heating system in your house and the cooling system in your house. Then right here, this is the up and this is the down for setting the temperature. So basically the way this works is the Wi-Fi shield connects to the Wi-Fi network in your home, and then I went to the settings in the Wi-Fi network and I did something called port forwarding for the IP address of this Wi-Fi shield. And what that does is it makes the IP address public, so that anywhere in the world, if you type the IP address, it'll connect you to this device, and you can access whatever this is transmitting. So I have this hosting like a website type of thing, where it'll be sending out the information about the current temperature, and there'll be little links that allow you to increase and decrease the temperature or change the mode. And so basically here on the circuit board, the different parts of this, like right here, I replaced it. This is supposed to be a thermistor, which is this thing here. A thermistor is like the temperature sensor, and it checks the current temperature. And in reality, it would be like out here, because the heat from all this would it would throw it off. So if I put a potentiometer here for now so I could test it, since I can't really change the temperature easily with this thing. And then right here I have an RGB LED, but in reality these 3 wires are what connect the heating, cooling, and fan system. They're what turn them on and off. So these would be connected into these kinds of relay switches. I've tested one, but I didn't plug this in because it's kind of hard to hold it up against the wall and stuff. But basically this, you connect it through the relay switch, and then the other end goes into the house. And the reason you use a relay switch is because the house voltage from the heating and cooling system stuff is 24 volts, and that would burn this circuit. So you need to connect it indirectly. So you use a relay switch that can handle 24 volts and then also handle the 5 volts that this Arduino operates on. and the rest of this is just to have it work. And so now I'll turn the system on. So you just have to plug it in. And then wait for it to turn on. And see, the green light shows that, the green light on link shows that it connected to our Wi-Fi in our house. And now, on my phone, I can show you the connection. So the IP address is 192.168.1.16. So the current mode is set to heat right now. So if I click off, it'll turn the mode to off. Right, so over here you'll notice that it shows the current temperature, 91 degrees, and what I set the temperature to. So I can change the modes. It doesn't show it in real time here because the website itself doesn't like refresh every second. But what I did do is I have it so that you can if you plug this via USB into the computer and read the serial monitor, which is like the communication, it's called UART. It's the communication via USB to the computer. It sends the signal like in real time of what the mode is and what the current temperature is, so that's faster. This is just so you just know it for now, and you can control it. Yeah, so that's that. So the future implementation of what I would do with this is I would obviously make like a box around it, like make it not all flimsy like this and like smaller, and then obviously put the relay switches in so it can connect to the house, and this would be there instead of a potentiometer. And what I would also do is connect like an Arduino Mini or Nano or whatever to the side, and then these transmitter and receiver pins, I would connect that to the Arduino Mini so that they can communicate, and then connect that one to this LCD display. And so this would be the display for the whole thing, because right now it doesn't actually have a display. You have to connect it via serial to read it, because right now there's not enough ports left on the Uno to connect it to one of these. And then I would also maybe like add like a speaker, just because it'd be cool. And now I'll show you the code for the whole thing. So here's the code for the whole thing. So I'll just go through and explain the code. So basically, this is all the declarations for all the variables that you use in the code. Right here, it's just setting up the inputs and outputs on the Arduino. So you like right here, you have all the buttons, and you set them up as inputs, and then you have all the outputs for the relay switches, and then you have this timer. The timer is just like what tells you how to refresh the website, and also how to refresh the like how long to wait before you turn on the heating system and turn off the cooling system, that kind of stuff. Because if you just turn it on instantly, it could cause the heating system and cooling systems to keep turning on and off, and you're not supposed to do that because that could damage the house. Right here, what this all is this is all for the serial monitor. So when it's plugged in, these are the messages it would display. When I actually connect the LCD display, it would be showing this instead on the LCD display, but this is just for me to read. So right here you see it's connecting to this Wi-Fi network, and there's the password. And then it starts the like the website pretty much that you can access. So it's HTTP, it's an HTML website, and right here you're typing in the HTML code. And I have it right now. I don't have it port forwarded anymore because it resets eventually, but when you port forward it, the IP address changes, so it becomes the IP address. Actually, I think you should blur that out. Different IP address. And then right here, this is where I show the actual information about the temperature and that kind of stuff in our house. So the current mode, and it gets the mode. There's a function to see what mode it's on right now, the current temperature. And then these are all links that will, when you click it, it'll allow you to change the mode. So these are mode 0 through 4. When you click it, it'll change it to like off or cool or fan. And then you have the temp up and down, which will just increase or decrease the temperature. And then this is all just reading what you clicked on the website, and then being able to send that information to the Wi-Fi shield. And then when you get down here, this is all reading directly off of the system itself, like the Arduino itself. When you press a button, that kind of stuff. So when you press up, it'll increase temperature. When you press down, it'll decrease temperature. When you press the mode button, it'll change the mode. And these are all complicated functions that prevent it from instantly turning on one of the heating systems. It goes through like a wait cycle and waits and stuff. And then this is all the logic behind it. See, it's asking like if something is already on, then you have to wait 60 seconds before you actually change anything. And so that's all the logic behind it. And if nothing's on, nothing's running, then you can just go instantly. And here's the functions that allow you to increase and decrease the temperature. And then update serial just basically updates what it's sending on your screen. So that's all basically all that. And then right here, as you can see, as I showed you over there, I had it plugged into a potentiometer, instead of a thermistor, so I changed this code to allow it, since the thermistor can go from 0 to 1024 as values, and I don't want that. I want it to constrain it between, like, say, like 84 degrees to 92 degrees or something. I would type that in so it doesn't show me like 0 degrees and then 1024 degrees, because that's not realistic, and it wouldn't let me properly test things. And then you have the timer, that is the timer, setting the system, so deciding how to turn on and off different systems within it. And then this is just basically printing out like the fact that you're connected to the Wi-Fi and information about the Wi-Fi, like the signal strength and the name. And then this is just the last function, just telling you what the mode was, so it can show it on the website. And so that's basically it. So basically what I made was a Wi-Fi thermostat, and I mean, it's a thermostat, and basically shows the Wi-Fi, shows the information in the temperature in your house, and lets you control the temperature and stuff like that from your from anywhere in the world. And obviously the real implementation would let you have like a password, so not anyone can just come in and control your thermostat, and it would be it would have like smarter features rather than just controlling it anywhere. You could make it smarter somehow, like the Google Nest. And that's it.